Namaskar students and welcome. In this video, we are going to see 7th science lesson number 11, cell structure and microorganisms. So let's begin. First children, let us see what is given in this chart. Complete the flow chart. First we have the letters, alphabets, ABCD, and then those letters become words. Then the words are used to form sentences. From sentences we make paragraphs. From paragraphs we make chapters, and then we get the whole book. This is the sequence in increasing order. The same kind of system even we have in our body. The smallest unit of a living thing is a cell. Many cells join together to form tissues. Then the tissues join together to form an organ, and many organs function together to form an organ system. And then there are many such organ systems in our body, like the digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, nervous system. All of these systems function together in our body. They coordinate with each other and we all live in a healthy way. Now children, what is a cell? We know that the cell is the smallest unit of a living thing. Now this is a cork children. This is a rubber cork which is used to cover the mouth of the bottle. In 1665, a scientist Robert Hooke observed a thin section of cork under a microscope. He is the scientist Robert Hooke who observed a very thin section of this cork under the microscope, and he saw hexagonal compartments just like the beehive. Then he named those compartments as cells. Cell means small room in Latin. After that, there were many other scientists, M.J. Schleiden, Theodore Schwann. They all also gave up more theories, more meanings to this word cell. All the living things, all the living organisms are made up of cells, and the cell is the fundamental component of living organism. The cell is the fundamental structural functional unit of a living thing. In 1885, Rudolf Virchow stated that all cells are formed from pre-existing cells. Yes, from the old cells only the new cells are formed, and they are the fundamental unit of a living thing. Children, now we know that cell is the smallest unit of a living thing. So if we want to observe the cell, if we want to study about the cell, we need some instrument which is going to help magnify the cell, which is going to help the cell look bigger so we can study it properly. So such instruments are called microscope. Now what is a microscope and who discovered microscope? A microscope is an instrument used to observe minute objects. Anton van Leeuwenhoek made the first microscope in 1673. Micrometer and nanometer are the units used for measuring the sizes of microorganisms. Microscopes are of three main types: simple, compound and electron microscope. So these are the units of measuring the size of the cells, children. This is a compound microscope shown here. This is the base, children. Illuminator. There is going to be a mirror here. This mirror is illuminator. This is the stage on which you keep the slide, on which you keep the specimen, the thing which you want to observe. These are the lenses: objective lens, tube, coarse focus knob, fine focus knob. You are going to use it for focusing on the object. Eyepiece, you are going to see through that. It is the eyepiece. Ocular. Now the sizes of the cell, children. What are the different sizes of the cell? 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. These are the conversions, children. 1 millimeter is equal to 1000 micrometer. So see children, micrometer is much more smaller than the millimeter. And 1 micrometer or micron. This micron word you might have seen on the plastic bags also, children, is equal to 1000 nanometers. So nanometer is much more smaller than the micrometer. Stain used iodine or eosine. These are the things which are put in the objects which you want to observe, so they get a color. When transparent objects get a color, then we are able to see the structure of the cells very clear. Now let us know a bit more about the cells. What exactly is the size and shape of the cell? Cells come in many shapes and sizes, children. Some live in water, some live on land, some live in air, and they even have different sizes and different shapes. You can see many different shapes of the cell here. This is a nerve cell, neuron, bone cell, egg cell, amoeba, fat cell, spirogyra, muscle cell, surface cell, red blood cell. This is a sperm cell. Now let's see a plant cell and an animal cell. They are coming in the category of eukaryotic cells. So there is a cell wall, chloroplast, cytoplasm. See the dots. That's cytoplasm, children. Chloroplast is this one. Free ribosomes, lysosome here in animal cells, cell membrane, outer covering, Golgi body. See the Golgi body here and here also in both types of cells. Nucleus, very important. Endoplasmic reticulum, this one. Vacuole, empty space. It's big in plant, it's small in animal. Mitochondrion, see this mitochondrion here and here. So plant cell and animal cell both have almost a similar structure. Most of the parts of the cell are same in plant and animal cell both. Let us see a bit more about the different organelles, the different parts in a cell. 4 main parts: the cell wall, plasma membrane. It is also called as cell membrane, children. Here it's given as cell membrane and down we have written plasma membrane. Both means the same. Cytoplasm and cell organelles. Cell wall is surrounding the cell, its outside boundary. Plasma membrane is also called the cell membrane. Inside the cell wall, the second layer from outside. Cytoplasm, the liquid fluid present inside. See. Cell organelles. In the cell organelles, there can be many different parts. The cell organelle includes many different organelles in a cell, which we are going to see after this one. Plasma membrane is very delicate and flexible, children. It is the outermost covering in animal cell. In animal cell, cell wall is not present. Cell membrane is present. Now let us see more organelles of the cell, which was the 4th point, children. Nucleus. See the nucleus. It also contains nucleolus. This is plant cell. This is animal cell. It is the most important organelle of the cell. It controls function of the cell. Yes. It is like the brain of the cell, children. Endoplasmic reticulum. It is a sprawling net-like organelle. It makes necessary changes in the proteins produced by ribosomes and sends them to Golgi bodies. Endoplasmic reticulum, you see the endoplasmic reticulum here. Rough ER, rough endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth ER, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Here also rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. What they are doing? They are making changes in the proteins produced by ribosomes, and then they are sending it to Golgi bodies. Golgi bodies, they are made of several flat sacs. They help in proper distribution of proteins. See, these are the Golgi bodies, children. Here, these ones are the Golgi bodies in the plant cell, and these are the Golgi bodies in the animal cell. What are they doing? They help in proper distribution of proteins. Mitochondria. They are the powerhouse of the cell because they produce energy. Mitochondria is here, children. This one. Here you see the mitochondria here. So mitochondria is the powerhouse. It is giving energy to the whole cell. Vacuoles. They help in throwing out waste material. This is a big vacuole in plant cell, and there is going to be small vacuole. This one. Many small vacuoles in animal cell. But in plant cell, there will be one big vacuole. Chloroplast. They are present only in plants. They help in the process of photosynthesis. Chloroplasts are present only in plants, children. See, these are the chloroplasts, these ones. They will help in the photosynthesis process. Now, children, we have learned here everything about the cell. A cell is very small. It can be observed under a microscope. Anton van Leeuwenhoek made the microscope. And we have learned about the shape and size of the cell. What are the different parts in the cell? Now we will study about the microorganisms. Microorganisms are also very small in size. You cannot study about them. You cannot observe them normally with your naked eyes. You need a microscope for studying the microorganisms. So, in the next video, we are going to study everything about the microorganisms, like the definition. What are microorganisms? Occurrence. Where are they found? What is the size? What is their nature? Growth. How do they grow? Where do they grow? What are the types? Useful and harmful microorganisms. Most of the times, we feel that microorganisms are always bad, are always harmful. But no, there are many useful microorganisms, children. We will see about them in the next video. Thank you for watching till the end.